And welcome everybody, this is Sherman Ray, and this is the TNC Podcast, the Nevada Conservative Podcast. I'm your host. I want to welcome you all to the broadcast. Hope everybody's doing well. And this is a crazy show today, guys. We've entitled this show, What the Left Will Do to Win. And we're going to talk about a couple of different things that are pretty relevant right now. We're going to talk about Nick Shirley. We're going to talk about James Carville. We're going to talk about Abigail Spanberger over in Virginia, and so much more. You guys, this is going to be one of those shows where we're going to be just flying through this, So stick around, folks. We'll be back in just a minute with more of the Nevada Conservative Podcast with me, your host, Sherman Ray. We'll see you in just a minute. Thanks. Alrighty, folks. I am back, folks. This is Sherman Ray. And let's go ahead and get rid of that. There you go. Thanks. Appreciate that. And I want to welcome you all back to the show. And guys, this is going to be one of those shows. We just got some late-breaking stuff just before we went on air and just not even had time to put it up on our website. But we are going to get it up there pretty quick. Before we do all that, folks, I'm Sherman Ray. I'm your host of the Nevada Conservative Podcast. We actually started this podcast in like 2019 or something like that. I really did. And started interviewing candidates, that kind of stuff. And just in the last year, we're actually got the website up, and so it's a newspaper. And so I hope you can go out there each and every day to check it out. Got new articles each and every day, and we'll try to keep up with politics, sports, the culture, that kind of stuff. And I hope you're able to keep up with that. Before we going too much further, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, guys. We've just got a few subscribers. We want to build this up. Come on, we want to get up to 100 subscribers really quick. And so invite all your friends. Say, hey, you guys, you've got to get in and hear this guy about things that are going on, not just in Nevada, guys, because there's a lot of things going on in Nevada, but there's things going on all over the world. And hit the subscribe button. It's like over here someplace. Yeah, go ahead and hit it. And then let your friends know about it and say, hey, guys, you really want to hear this thing about conservatism, that kind of thing. Also, you can also check us out on Instagram. We're actually starting to work on our Instagram profile some more, and all the stuff we've already started. We just never put them on Instagram, but people really like it. Instagram, X, we're on Spotify. We will be on Apple Podcasts, you guys. Don't worry if it takes a little while. There's so many things we're working on right now. So we'll be on that, and on our Facebook page. Always active on our Facebook page. So let's get started. Today, let's start off with the SPLC, this Southern Poverty Law Center. Todd Blanche, what does Todd Blanche do now anyways? He's the Attorney General now? Yeah, he's the Attorney General now. He just handed down an indictment on the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is stunning development that should bring cheers from every God-fearing, constitutional-loving American. Southern Poverty Law Center, a weaponized attack dog against conservative values, faith-based organizations, and patriot. Okay, I wrote a lot of stuff. The charges include 6 counts of wire fraud. Oh my gosh. 4 counts of bank fraud. And 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. This isn't like, they posted something on Facebook. This is big stuff. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche and FBI Director Kash Patel announced the indictment from a federal grand jury in Alabama, where the SPLC is headquartered. Prosecutors alleged the organization secretly funneled at least, get it folks, $3 million in donor dollars between 2014 and 2023 to members and leaders of extremist groups. Can you imagine what group this might be? The most extreme group you can imagine. Okay, the SPLC guys, they're fighting against whitest white groups and stuff like that. And guess who they funneled money to? The Ku Klux Klan. Yeah. The United Klans of America, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nations linked outfits. These guys you got to be out of your mind. $3 million in donor dollars funneled to the groups that they're supposed to be fighting against. The money allegedly moved through shell accounts and prepaid cards to hide its source. Oh my God. This is amazing. Blanche put it plainly. The SPLC wasn't dismantling hate. It was manufacturing the very extremism it claimed to oppose, all while deceiving generous donors who thought their money was fighting real threats. Instead, it paid sources to stoke racial hatred and then use those inflated hate groups lists to smear pro-life Christians. My gosh. Traditional marriage advocates, border security supporters, and anyone daring to defend America's founding principles. So here's what they were doing, guys. They were paying Peter to pay Paul, and they were working as double agents. They were working with the KKK, the Aryan Brothers, those hate groups, and they were paying them to gin up false narratives and then blaming Christian groups, pro-life groups, for the thing that they had just cooked up. This is amazing. This isn't just another left-wing nonprofit scandal. For decades, the SPLC has operated as a multi-million-dollar smear factory, labeling mainstream conservative and faith-based groups as hate organizations. Okay, and we're going to read a little bit about some of these groups that they've hated on, and they're saying that we're hate groups, and we're going to list a few of them in just a minute here. But this is crazy, isn't it? Once again, these are the groups that they're alleged to have funneled money to. Okay, the KKK, who was founded by the Democrat Party. The United Klans of America. We might as well have the United Klans of America. The National Socialist Movement. Got to have a socialist there, right? The Aryan Nations linked outfits. Oh my God. The money allegedly moved through small shell accounts and prepaid cards to hide its source. Wow. This is amazing. President Trump's Justice Department, the mask is finally coming off. This is amazing. Okay, guys, what will they do? So this kind of plays into the whole narrative of what Democrats will do, what leftists will do to win. They'll make up stuff. I was going to cuss. No, I really wasn't going to cuss, but I could have cussed right there, big time. They're making up stuff to make it look like conservatives and Christian groups are doing stuff that they're not doing. Can you imagine this, folks? Now, many of you know about the January 6th debacle, where you had people who were peacefully marching and voicing their opinion against a sham election that they believed was not correct. And then all of a sudden, it just devolved into something crazy. Well, could this be, I'm just saying, could this be another thing that was manufactured by the left to make the right look wrong? I'm just saying, folks, that I've seen it all, and this is just, I think we're just starting to scratch the surface on this, okay? We'll be back in just a minute, folks. We're going to talk a little bit more about the SPLC and what they're doing on the TNC podcast. We'll be back in just a minute. This is simply crazy. I can't cannot believe this, folks. The SPLC, folks. We just reported on this. We led off the show with something crazy because I don't think many people don't really believe that. How could not the Southern Poverty Law Center? They are just a bunch of great folks. They could never do anything wrong. They've just been indicted. 6 counts. Okay, 6 counts from wire fraud to money laundering. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Conspiring with hate groups. Wow, it's amazing. They took in over a number of years. How much money was it? $3 million donor dollars. Okay, here's the interesting thing about it is that there's a guy by the name of Morgan. I forgot his first name. He's got a law office here in Las Vegas. It's called Morgan and Morgan, and he found out that the Democrats were doing some shenanigans. He's no longer a Democrat. That's it. He's done. He's done being their mega donor. The same thing with what's his name, Stephen Klubeck. Many of you heard of Stephen Klubeck before. He's a big timeshare guy. I think that's what it is, timeshare. I think that's where he made all his money. He found out that Eric Swalwell, was being just a crude, nasty guy to women. And what did he do? He says, I'm done. I'm done with being a Democrat. And it's happening more and more and more because they're finding out that the Democrats that they thought that they were supporting were not the Democrats that they purported to be. And when you have mega donors doing that, what do you think is going to happen with the Southern Poverty Law Center? Yeah, they got all these donors that are going to say, "Oh no, we're not. My money is going to pay for the KKK." Yeah, I know some of you might be just joining us right now. Here's some of the groups that they were funneling money to. Okay, these are alleged now, so we're just going to make sure. Between 2014 and 2023, members and leaders, they funneled money, donor dollars, $3 million in donor dollars to the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, the National Socialist Movement, and Aryan Nations linked outfits. Okay, just pick any one, please. Okay, the money allegedly moved through shell accounts and prepaid cards to hide its sources. So it's very hard to figure this stuff out. Okay. They said, what could be next on this thing? Okay, what could be next? The indictment is only the beginning. With a now discontinued informant program under scrutiny, expect deeper probes into how the SPLC raised and spent donor dollars. Were millions more misdirected? Did executives knowingly mislead supporters and where their money went? Civil lawsuits from defamed individuals and organizations could multiply, which means, guess what? If I were a donor, I would sue you guys. The SPLC, I would sue them out of existence. Because guess what, guys? You're wrong. This is just ridiculous. So I did a little bit of something on this. I wanted to find out where the SPLC actually started from. Can I find that? Let's see if I can find that. It's founded in 1971 in Montgomery, Alabama by Morris Dees and Joe Levin, with civil rights figure Julian Bond, okay, as its first president. Okay, so it actually had some great things it was starting with. Okay, Julian Bond was there. The SPLC began with a focus on legitimate civil rights legislation. Okay, just like everything, it started out just fine. Fight for the people, right? Early efforts included challenging segregation at the local YMCA, integrating the Alabama State Troopers. That sounds great, doesn't it? Man, it does. Sounds great. Taking on remnants of Jim Crow laws. Come on. Now you got me. Now I can see why they have a deep donor list. Okay, you're fighting for the right things. Okay. Wow. The group earned national attention through high-profile suits against the Ku Klux Klan. What? You sued the Ku Klux Klan, but now you're giving them money to do what? To be Klansmen? they had a landmark verdict in 1987 against Ku Klux Klan. It bankrupted the Klan, a Klan faction, over the lynching of Michael Donald. Okay, so they were doing some great things, but however, over time, the mission dramatically changed. By the mid-1980s, the entire legal staff reportedly resigned en masse, accusing leadership of abandoning poverty law in favor of high visibility cases that maximize fundraising. So they started to change. They got off the reservation, and that's the problem with groups like this. Under D's marketing genius, SPLC transformed into a direct mail powerhouse, amassing hundreds of millions of donors by sounding constant alerts about rising hate. Okay, here's the thing about hate, guys. Hate's big money. You gotta know it. It's racism. There's a couple of things that are big money: hate, racism, okay, sex, big money. The things, what's not big money? Peace. Peace is not big money because you can't make money off peace. But you can make money off racism. You sure can. You can make money off of hate. You can make money off division. And that sounds to me like what the SPLC happened to them. Is they got off, they lost their original mandate, and they said, you know what? You make a lot more money by getting people pissed off. Now that's the hard thing about the Nevada Conservative. I can make tons of money, guys. I could come on here and I could talk about how terrible Democrats are, and I could make up stuff. Okay, I could really make up a lot of stuff. I don't have to make up stuff. Okay, I could make so much money by just making up stuff and telling you guys, guess what? Be careful, and send out emails, blast all the time talking about, oh, whoa. Okay, I don't have to do that. Okay. We believe that you just give the people the truth and you warn them. You warn them against the craziness that's out there. That's what we're here to do. We warn people about that we're missing the boat. We're missing the direction that America is. That's what should have happened to the SPLC a long time ago. Where was Julian Bond and those guys in those days? Where were all these great black leaders saying, hey guys, what's going on? You've lost your way. Evidently, they thought that this was a good idea too. Critics, including former insiders, have described it as a highly profitable scam that inflated threats to keep the money flowing. And this is what the lefties will do. Okay, so much more, you guys. You guys got to keep an eye on this, okay? We're going to write an article about this. We mentioned that one of the groups that the SPLC targeted was the Family Research Council, of all groups to go against, right? The Family Research Council is nothing but a bunch of Christians that are saying, hey guys, guess what? Have babies and have a great life. Have a great marriage, have babies, love the Lord. That's what they do. Don't watch bad movies, because guess what? They don't help you to have great marriages, great kids. Okay, that's what the Family Research Council does. That's all they really do. But they were on the SPLC's list. They were designated by the SPLC as a hate group, accusing it of spreading false and denigrating propaganda about the LGBTQ plus AMIA flip community, primarily for upholding biblical teachings on marriage and human sexuality. Okay, that's all they do. And the Family Research Council, because they said that that marriages between one man and one woman were designated as a hate group by the SPLC. Okay, and that's why we say to ourselves, what a sham group. This is sad, and it's a shame that a group like this that had such great beginnings would end this way. We got more on the show, folks. So much more. And read about this article on our website at the Nevada Conservative at thenevadaconservative.com. We'll be back in just a minute, folks, for more of the Nevada Conservative Podcast. Stick around. what a way to start the show. And SPLC, man. Golly, you found yourself just lost your way, man. But that's what lefties will do. Lefties will do pretty much anything to win and to get power, because that's really all it was about. It's about power. And now they find themselves, the SPLC, with a 6 indictment, and it's going to get ugly, folks. I'm Sherman Ray, and I'm the host of the TNC podcast. Folks, I want to encourage you, hit the subscribe button. Let everybody know that this show is on and that you love it. You can also check us out on Spotify, on YouTube. So if people watch us on YouTube, love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And share this broadcast with all your friends. We'd love for you to let everybody know all about us. So there's a man. Many of you know, how much time do we have? What do we want to do? Let's do the James Carville. Yeah, let's do the James Carville article. Many of you have heard this already. You've heard that one of the things that Democrats are going to do when they get back into power is they're going to do everything they can possibly do to hold on to power forever. Forever. And I know some people are going, no, there's no way they would do that. They're just not going to do that. Okay, well, they are. I can guarantee you that. And how do we know that? Well, there's a guy by the name of James Carville. James Carville is a political strategist, a Democratic strategist. He's worked on many, many campaigns. He's called the Ragin' Cajun. And he came on, and this is how bold they are. He says, we're going to do some things here. We're going to pack the courts. We're going to make Puerto Rico the next state. We're going to give statehood to the District of Columbia. We're going to open borders. Whatever we're going to do, F the Republicans, screw them, because they screwed us, and we're going to screw them. Here's what it is, a stunning display of raw political cynicism. And you can get this article on our website, and it's already up, so you can get this out. So we're reading from our article that's on the Nevada Conservative right now. Veteran Democrat strategist James Carville recently laid bare the left's blueprint for permanent dominance. Okay? They're not just saying, hey, guess what? We want to fight against the Republicans, and we've got a war of ideas, and we want to show everybody how great our ideas are. That's not it at all. Carville said this on a podcast. He urged Democrats, if they regain the White House and Congress, which is in just a couple of months, they should immediately grant statehood to Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. Why? Okay. On day one, he says this. Okay. He said, expand the the Supreme Court to 13 justices. Okay. I'd love him to do that right now, which would be great. Yeah, do it right now. Expand that Supreme Court to 13 justices right now. Because guess who's in the White House right now? Donald Trump. That's it. Yes. And implicitly leverage open borders and amnesty to reshape the electorate forever. That's what he says, okay? Don't run on it. Don't talk about it. Just do it, he snarled. F it, he says. F beep it. Eat our dust. He was talking to the Republicans. You can actually see the video. The video is on our website. I would never say the words he says, okay? James Carville basically said to his Democrat colleagues, you guys need to take the bull by the horn and just shove it down their throats. I don't care whether the Republicans like it or not. We don't care anymore. And this is what they're... So if and why would... Let's go back through these things that they were talking about and why these really matter, okay? If you grant statehood to the District of Columbia, okay? If you grant statehood to the District of Columbia, you would create a new state carved almost entirely from the federal seat of government, the one-party fiefdom dominated by career bureaucrats, lobbyists, and deep blue voters, okay? With over 700,000 residents already aligned overwhelmingly with Democrats, D.C. statehood would hand the left 2 additional U.S. senators and at least 1 more House member. D.C. is a leftist stronghold. Right now, D.C. has no voting. Okay, it was meant that way. The founding fathers said, no, we need to have a federal, a place where the seat of power is, and it's not going to be a voting part of the country. Democrats are going, oh no, we want that to happen for us. Okay, it would virtually guarantee Senate advantage. No wonder they're pushing so aggressively. This isn't about representation or fairness. It's about tilting the scales so small, conservative-leaning states lose their constitutional voice in the upper chamber. So the way our government was set up, guys, here's what our government was set up. Our government was set up in such a way that even small states, even the smallest states, would have a voice. South Dakota, North Dakota, those states that had not a lot of people in them, that they would actually have a say in when the representatives went to D.C. Okay, well, Democrats say they don't care about that. Okay, they don't care if places like Delaware, small places like Dakotas, North and South Dakota, ever have a say. They don't care about Idaho. They don't care about Nevada. I think in Nevada we've got 2 representatives here. We've got 4 congressmen, but I believe we only have 2 senators. They don't care about that at all. They care about California. They care about New York. They want the big states. Okay, guess what? That have got a ton of senators, ton of congressmen, and you just run roughshod over everything else. Okay. Puerto Rico, same playbook. Island has held multiple non-binding referendums, with statehood often polling as a plurality option, but never commanding overwhelming consensus when all state status choices, including free association or independence. Okay, Puerto Rico actually wants to stay independent, even though it's part of the United States. Adding Puerto Rico, home to roughly 3 million U.S. citizens, would similarly deliver 2 more reliable Democrat senators. Combined with D.C., that's 4 new seats in the world's greatest deliberative body, seats that would dilute the influence of heartland states like Nevada, where traditional values, limited government, constitutional fidelity still matter. Okay. Here's what, and I'm going to read just a little bit more of the article that I wrote, because this is important, folks. We're going to run out of time, but that's fine. Okay. Conservatives long warned that these moves violate the spirit of federalism. Okay, I want you to understand this. Okay. The Senate was designed to give equal representation to states, not to let population centers or federal enclaves dominate. Okay, we wanted it to be. We wanted every state to have a voice in what's going on in our country. Just because you have a buttload of people living in New York doesn't mean that you should have more say in what the country does, because you're only one state. Okay. There's 50 states or 51 states, okay? You should all have an equal share in this. James Madison and the founders crafted this balance precisely to prevent tyranny of the majority. 'Cause that's exactly what will happen. This is not we live in a representative democracy, folks. We don't live in a quote unquote if you have more votes than me, then you basically can win. Okay, we have representatives in each one of our states that they're the ones who cast the vote. Because guess what? If it was just majority of the number of people, guess what? New York and California would just win everything because they got so many people there. Okay, but that's not the way it is. Democrats, frustrated by electoral losses and the reliance of red America, now seek to rewrite those rules through raw I looked this word up, majoritarianism, when it suits them. Okay, they want to do the same thing with the Supreme Court. They want to pack the court, because guess what? Right now they don't like the fact that there's more conservatives on the court than there are liberals, and so they say, let's pack the court. Their lifetime appointments. They've already got federal judges up and down both sides. The Ninth District have got a bunch of federal jurisdictions there. Bill Clinton, and I'm going to have to look this up, Bill Clinton, when he got into office, fired all the judges and hired all of his Democrat buddies. So now, if you want to get a fair shake, you're going to have to try to find a fair judge, and you're not going to find it in a federal jurisdiction because they're a bunch of lefties. Folks, we're running out of time here. I'm sorry. We're running over it. I even didn't get to Abigail Spanberger or nothing like that. But we're at a place right now in our country where we've got raw power being thrown around by the left, and they don't care. They just don't care whether or not you or I or anybody else cares anymore. They care about power. That's all they care about. And if we don't watch it, if we don't do something to stop them at the ballot box, we are going to find a country that looks unlike what our founding fathers thought it would be. That we're looking at a country where it's going to be, you're going to have one party ruling everything. It's going to be like California, all over the place, where you're going to have rampant fraud, division, high crime, loose borders, and it's going to be a mess. And that's not the America that you or I grew up in. It's not the America that our founding fathers envisioned for our country, but it's the America that lefties want it to be. So, you guys, and I'm speaking to the people in Virginia, because right now there are people who might be watching this in Virginia. I implore you right now, vote no on this latest attempts by Abigail Spanberger to redistrict your state. What she's basically doing, she's taking a state that was 6-5, okay, it was 6-5, which means more than half of the country of the state was voting Democrat, and half the country of the state of Virginia voted Republican, and now they're going to turn it into a 10-1, which means only one district in Virginia is going to be a reliable Republican district. Is that fair? I don't think so. And and that's the way Democrats want it. They want it all. They don't care. Even though this woman ran as a centrist and as a moderate. Anyways, we got to go, folks. If you'd like a audio of this broadcast, folks, go ahead and look for us on Spotify. We'll put it up on our Facebook page. You can check it out. Also, go to our website at thenevadaconservative.com. You can check us out. If you would like to get on our mailing list, just write to us at thenevadaconservative@gmail.com, thenevadaconservative@gmail.com. Once again, folks, thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. It's been Sherman Ray for the TNC Podcast. We'll see you guys again next time, 4 o'clock Pacific time, for the TNC Podcast. Be blessed.